A chance to see the video game turned movie Until Dawn. Let's check it out right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zenk. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, remember to give me that like, give me that subscribe. If you can, ring that bell ding ding. You'll get notified about when I release new videos, which I do practically daily. I just finished a film, and now I'm starting on another film, which will go probably to the 17th. So I will be on and off. I won't be doing daily throughout all of this. So yeah, my life has not got back to normal, but actually the more work, the better as far as I'm concerned. Remember, too, that I am on Amazon. If you'd like to check anything out that I have written, you can check out my 4-novel series, Destiny Aurora. It's a sci-fi, and it was made into a board game and an RPG and a graphic novel. And I also have my fantasy book, Tales of Ravenor, the Iron Witch. I have a Holocaust biography called Escape from Berlin. And I have a horror book along the lines of The Sixth Sense called The Awakening. So check all that out. I'm releasing a new comic book on Kickstarter coming up called Fairy Tales of Terror, and I am working on a new novel as well. All right, so check all that out, and let's jump right into the review here for Until Dawn. Disclaimer, I have not played the game. I have seen it played. I was also made into a board game as well. It always looked lots of fun to me, but I never got a chance to play it. I like horror games, and I know you had to start up generators and things to that effect. There is a generator in the film, but it's never started up. But it is a prop in there. Though this is the story of, let's just go through the plot real quick. So the plot is that Clover, who is the star of the film, and this goes to show you that for any budding filmmakers out there, that horror is the only genre where you can make a film without any named stars, complete unknowns, and still make money. It's the only one. And this is, of course, no exception. I think that some of the money is being made purely because of the name, because it's based on a video game by PlayStation. But I can tell you it's not because of the marketing. I didn't even know this thing existed. I saw the poster. That was all I saw in the theater. I didn't see one trailer for it or anything. I ended up going on AMC today, and I looked through the trailers, and that's the only reason I saw it and wanted to go see it. Because look at wrong side, but look at the poster. That poster does not make me want to see a movie. That looks like a remake of Cabin in the Woods with a hourglass. I mean, there's absolutely nothing to that poster. The marketing here is horrible. Horrible. And on top of that, it's Sony. Isn't it PlayStation owned by Sony? Don't you think they want to sell the game? So having more people come to this is, better off for them. But yeah, they dumped zero money into marketing on this. Really, really a shame. But anyway, let's get into the plot real quick. So Clover, and I remember everybody's name, which is weird. I remember all the character names. So Clover and her friends, which is, you have Megan, you got Max, you got Abe. So you have all these characters. That was the only characters you really see for the most part. And Megan, that was the Asian chick's name. But anyway, we see them in the car. Really good, cool transition too. We see the hourglass sand going, and it turns into a road. Really nice stuff. Because this is directed by David Sandberg, who directed Lights Out and Annabelle Creation. That's his horror side. But he also did the 2 Shazam movies as well. So he jumps back and forth between low budget and high budget. But anyway, Melanie, which is Clover's sister, has disappeared on her way to college. And she's been gone for a year. Now, why they waited a year to go look for her, I have no clue. Because we don't hear any news reports. We don't see anything about the cops still looking for her. There's nothing. They don't even touch on that at all. So the script's got holes, okay? But they try to trace the steps of the sister, and Max is her ex, is Clover's ex. So we get into a little bit of that as well. And Abe and Nina are dating. But Nina's a non-committal type person, so we get into some of that as well. And then Megan is a little bit psychic, I guess, which is just kind of thrown in there for whatever reason. So on the way, they end up stopping to get gas. Of course, it's very tropey. It's all very, very tropey, and I think on purpose, because even the video game is tropey. And so he tells them that, yeah, everybody goes missing up the hill there. So, of course, they go up the hill. And they pass through this huge wall of rain. And the wall just stops. I thought that was really cool. So it's literally a wall of rain. And they get through it, and they're in front of this house. And when they go into the house, they see all the missing posters of all these people, etc. And they get stuck there, where they get, and this is all stuff in the trailer, I'm not giving anything away, but they get killed, and it turns into a Groundhog Day situation where they get killed over and over again, but it follows the video game because they get respawned basically every time. So it's Groundhog Day because it's based on a video game where you respawn. So they respawn every time they get killed, and when they do, they have a certain amount of lives, just like in a video game. So after they reach the end of the lives, they end up turning into one of the killers that haunts this area. I think that's a pretty good plot. I kind of like that. Unfortunately, they don't expound on it. They don't go into the lore of why this is happening or anything like that. Stormy Air, he's from John Wick. He's from a ton of stuff. He was what's the other Keanu Reeves thing? Constantine. He played the devil in Constantine. He's just been in a million things. But anyway, he was also in the video game, so he's kind of reprising his role from the video game, which I think is really cool. But anyway, so he gives an explanation about why this is happening, but it doesn't fit. There's no supernatural reason about why this is happening. And that was my problem, is that the plot was not expounded on. So this movie could have been very, very good. But unfortunately, it just doesn't get over that hump, right? Because they didn't spend enough time on the script. And the characters are very flat. So you don't really care too much about the characters. So there's a couple things going against it. However, I thought that the production design and the set dressing on this thing, they should win an award for this. I mean, they went all out on all this stuff. I mean, whenever you're looking at the sets, your eyes are just bouncing around at all the little tchotchkes that are all of the amount of detail in all of this stuff is amazing. They really, really put a lot of detail and time into it. Unfortunately, also, it was not shot in the United States. It was shot in Budapest, which I have a problem with that. Okay, if it's Canada, or at least it's our neighbor, but taking our stuff into Europe and beyond, I have a problem with that, with the industry just moving that far away. So, but anyway, there was no reason why it couldn't have been shot even here in Atlanta. But anyway, so there was the house that they're in, and then another house, almost looks like a Freddy type of house, kind of appears, which means that the houses were already there, but they CG painted the other one out every time they looked across the street. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. So there's a little bit of CG here and there. But I would say that a lot of the stuff with the killers and everything like that are all practical. So I personally, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I did. I even watched Jeremy John's thing, and he said he had fun with the first half, and he didn't have fun with the second half because it became, more tropey. I kind of had fun with it all the way through. Besides the points that I'm making, which the plot should have developed things further, the character should have been developed further. There's a part with the sister that does come up, which I won't talk about, but the Clover character doesn't get emotional with her sister in the least. So there's some opportunities here that are lost. So basically, what I'm saying is that the David Sandberg as a director is basically hit and miss. He's got some really good ideas, but he misses the mark on the emotional levels. Like we even saw that in the last Shazam movie, where killed off Shazam or Billy Batson, and I think he should have stayed dead rather than coming up out of the ground. I thought that was a very missed opportunity as well. So some of the decisions that he makes just doesn't work. I don't know if it's because he's getting notes from the studios or whatever that's messing some of his stuff up, but he doesn't ever get into the emotional weight of his films, and I definitely can see that. However, he does have an eye. Like I like the whole idea of them coming out of the ground here, where it's almost like a birth. I liked all that as well. So there's some really, really good stuff to this. It is tropey. It's not a movie that you've never seen anything like it before. It's purposely utilizing stuff that you have seen. So it makes everything very recognizable and very familiar, and I liked it. I liked the movie. Again, it's not a great movie. It's not. It misses a lot of beats that could have brought it to that next level, but it doesn't. But all the actors in here are non-recognizable completely. Ella Rubin, who plays Clover, was just in Nora. You probably wouldn't say. Now I'd have to see it again just to pick her out because I can't remember her character at all. Michael Cimino, who plays Max, he was in Boy Haunts Girl or Girl Haunts Boy or whatever else, but he doesn't have anything big. Ji Young Yo, who plays Megan, I've never seen anything that she's been in. So I thought she was the hottest one, actually. But and Belmont Cameli, who plays Abe, he was from the last Alto Knights movie that Robert De Niro just did. And then he was also in 20 episodes of Saved by the Bell. He has the least amount of credits as everybody else, but he has the most recognizable credits. But again, you have these actors have not done anything of recognition, nothing. So just goes to show you though. But the movie cost $15 million, which is why the movie's making money, because at this point in time, it's already made close to $20 million. So it has to make 45 to close 48 million, and if it keeps up, because normally the first week of whatever it makes, it'll double by the end of the run. So if it's almost at 20, it'll probably get to 45, probably pretty easily. Hopefully, word of mouth will bring people out, because it's definitely not the marketing of bringing people out to it. The kills are pretty cool. I like the whole mask situation. I like the fact that we know that these killers are previously missing people. I liked all that, where they kind of mutate. All that stuff is really cool. I like the whole witch thing. There was just a lot of, and just the look and feel of everything I thought was really good. I thought the DP did a good job, considering everything had to be in darkness, with very little ambient light. There's no practical light for the guy to light from. So yeah, I thought that the team did a really, really good job of creating ambiance, and keeps us guessing on who's going to get out and who's not. And I love the whole thing with the Arrowglass. I like the mechanisms of how it rotated and stuff like that. Just really good stuff. And then the guest book where they're signing in, which basically shows their lives in a video game. It had some really interesting stuff to it. Really interesting stuff that I did like. Anyway, if you're a fan of horror, I know that on Rotten Tomatoes it's just barely fresh. But if you're a fan of like classic horror movies, you're going to find a lot to like in this. If you're not a fan of horror movies, you're probably just going to think it's stupid. Anyway, I suggest watching it. I would love to see them continue this and maybe get some of the stuff they got wrong, get it right in the next one. That would be great because, again, it has a lot of potential that was untapped in this one. All right. Well, that's it for me. Remember to give me a like, give me a subscribe if you can. Ring that bell, ding, ding. Share this video out there so people might be able to go see the movie. And on top of that, check out Amazon.com for some of the stuff that I've written. I'll see you guys on the next one, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.